Early in the 20th century, all the cement used to build this province was shipped from Britain. But in 1904, on the site of today's world-famous Butchart Gardens, Robert Butchart built a cement plant that changed everything.
In 1900, cement was an essential construction material for BC's building boom. It was shipped in 400-pound barrels from England. Then, in 1904...
And this Canadian upstart came from Ontario, Robert Butchart, and he starts a cement plant at Todd Inlet. You can almost hear the British guys saying, you know, who's this colonial guy who's taking away our market.
The British sent their chief engineer, Henry Bamber, to BC to hunt for other deposits of limestone, the essential ingredient of cement.
He finds that the limestone is just on the other side of the inlet, so the British company says, we can put up a plant on the west side.
While Butchart mined the east side.
In 1911, they buy 450 acres just south of Mill Bay. Pretty much all the higher level staff and expertise comes from Britain.
As well as the machinery. The wharf is built first, as there's no decent road for transport, and incredibly, the plant is built in 18 months.
1912 into the middle of 1913, and then they bring the premier out to open the plant in June 1913.
Robert Butchart is not pleased.
It's going to be like head-to-head combat between really British capital and Canadian capital.
But then comes World War I, and the building boom collapses.
And both sides realize almost immediately that there's not room for two plants.
As they negotiate the merger, Butchart keeps his cards close to his chest.
He was really running out of limestone anyway at Todd Inlet. So there was, I think, a pretty fierce negotiation.
Robert Butchart becomes president of the British Columbia Cement Company.
The new plant at Bamberton is much more modern, and they have the limestone there, so they shut Todd Inlet down in the early 20s.
And Jenny Butchart begins to plant gardens in the quarry. With Bamberton named in his honor, Henry Bamber happily returns with his family to England. And for the next 40 years, cement, the construction material that built this province, came entirely out of Bamberton.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, bringing British Columbia stories together.